got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your ass invited, so gonna get to clapping. Go pop a phone.
Hey guys, right now we're here at the Zhoucun ancient town. This town is otherwise known as the #1 town in China. So how did it came to be known as the #1 town? Well, the story begins in the Qing dynasty, where the Qianlong emperor came here, and he himself claimed that he was astonished and amazed by the bustling streets and commercial activities in this town, Zhoucun. So he gave this honorable title, the #1 town in China. What's right next to me is the No Tax Today monument. So there's a really interesting story behind this monument. A really high-ranking official called Li Huaxi, after serving the emperor for several years, he returned to his hometown, which is where we're standing. And so after staying here for a while, he noticed that the high taxation is really harming the local trade community. So he petitioned the emperor to lower the tax rates, and he actually managed to achieve this. But the emperor only conceded, and he said that there will only be one day where there's no tax. Maybe not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today, and always today. So he built this monument that said, "No tax today." But also to avoid angering the emperor, he decided that he and his family would pay all the taxation on behalf of this town. And this policy quickly spread around China, where all merchants learned about it, and this led to the ultimate prosperity of this place. We're here at the main street of Zhoucun town. As you can see right there, it says 大街, which means main street. So let's walk past this ancient pavement and see what Zhoucun is really like. On my right-hand side, you can see there's a mail office, and it still functions today. And as we walk along this path, we can imagine how a lot of merchants came to export silk. And as estimated by historians, a lot of the silk exported through the Silk Road came from right here. So let's follow my step and embark on this amazing journey in Zhoucun commercial town. We're here at Zhoucun, which is one of the most famous silk and fabric stores in this town. So let's see how the store manifested integrity, trust, and its business model. So let's come in and have a look. The 5-star red flag that was first raised in the founding ceremony of the Republic of China came from this store. And so let me tell you the story about its founding father, which is Zhoucun. Let's come in and have a look. So this store is really well known for its conscious ruler. This ruler, you might notice, is 1 inch longer than the original market standard. So this ensures that customers get more than what they paid for. And this way of doing commerce really showed how Zhoucun has a smart way of doing business and dealing with trade. This is shown here on the wall, where Zhoucun's grandson famously asked him what is the key to success for his business, and he responded that a merchant should not calculate every small gain. Long-term success owes to generosity and integrity. His philosophy was once again tested in the 1900s, with the Eight-Nation Alliance burned down part of Beijing. Unfortunately, Zhoucun in Beijing was burned down. And the story that I'm about to tell you may subvert your initial understanding of merchants, because we normally perceive them as cunning, profit-driven. But Zhoucun did the exact opposite. And he publicly claimed that all the debts that he owed to other people, he would pay back, and all the debts that other people owed him would be forgiven. This quickly spread across the town, leading to more people learning about how this trustworthy and how this respectable person, Meng Luochuan, runs his business. This once again led to the prosperity of Reifuxiang and established its historical significance in China. So this moral tells us that the success and the moral behind running a business is trust between the seller and customer and integrity. Well, products from here are exported to other countries. Other products from all across the globe flows back to this spot. One prominent example is English and the US tobacco industries that flowed into Zhoucun, and this established how the Chinese people smoke at the time. From what we talked about, you can tell how significant Zhoucun was to international trade and trade in China, establishing itself as a significant trade hub. I'm going to introduce to you a really popular food in Shandong Zibo, and this food is called the Zhoucun sesame seed cake. Its history traces back to the Han Dynasty, and it's originally called the Hubi. So it originated in West Asia, and it's introduced to China through the Silk Road. So why is this food so popular and so unique? This is because merchants travel all over the world to China, and their journeys are typically long and exhausting. Therefore, they need food that is portable, durable, and delicious. And the sesame cake is just the right choice for it. Wow, it's truly incredible how we can see the process of making this sesame seed cake from up there. It looks really delicious. And if I could, I would go down there and buy some for myself and families and friends. I got one of these sesame bread that's just been baked, and it smells really good. No wonder it's loved by the wealthy merchants from the past. It tastes really crispy and crunchy. I recommend all of you to try one of these sesame cakes. It's really worth it. There's even 2 flavors, so you would definitely find one that suits what you like. One is the salty flavor, the other one is sweet. Both taste great. Large commercial centers are normally located near bodies of water such as lakes or the sea, because transport via shipping and through water stream is the cheapest ways for importing and exporting goods. However, without surrounded by large harbors or large bodies of water, Zhoucun still established itself as an important commercial center in China. Because of the commercial trust, business, the way of business, the business culture, as well as the high quality products here, made it the most bustling commercial centers of Zibo. So as you can see behind me, this is called the Han Matou, which is otherwise known as the dry port. Hey guys, right now we're at the Silver Market Street of Zhoucun. This is known as the financial hub of Zhoucun town. And as we walk along, we can see a lot of the ancient remnants, which includes banks and financial institutions. This place is really prosperous back in the ancient times, and it is what's equivalent to the Wall Street of China. We're here at the Dadetong Exchange Bank. This is the ancient Chinese bank. So as you can see above me, what's engraved on this wall says 汇通天下, which means exchange without borders. So let's come and have a look at how the ancient bank functions. So here you can understand it as the front desk of the bank where you can make deposits. So how do you exactly make deposits then? As you can see, this is an ancient banknote. And on the ancient banknote, you can see there's a lot of words. But as a normal person who just randomly pick up a banknote on the floor, you couldn't possibly understand what's written on it. So what's written on it is who made the deposit and when and where the deposit was made. And so In this way, the banks actually prevents people from stealing money. This method is done by a series of codes, which we can see displayed right over here. On the right hand side, because of the ancient Chinese text, you read from right to left. So here, this states the month that the deposit was made. This states the 30 days of the month which the deposit was made, and here states the amount of deposit was made. And this last 4 words notes the unit of the deposit. And that's how the counterfeiting system works to make bank deposits safe. So right next to me is a statue of Zhoucun, who's the person that's in charge of this bank. So as you can see, what's engraved on this wall is a copper coin. And this design of the copper coin is really clever. And it is circular, and right in the middle there's a square. This implies the Chinese way of doing business, like 做人要方方正正, which means that you have to have integrity when trading with your customers and doing businesses. So there's a word surrounding the square right in the middle, and it reads 为无知足, which means always staying satisfied. And this is a morale that this bank carries forward when doing business, and a message to all the business people to remain integrity when trading and to be honest. We are now on the 2nd floor. This floor serves as the office and living quarters of the chief manager. So let's move on and see how the actual gold and silver and these treasures are stored. Wow, there's a lot of valuables stored down here. So there's a lot of ventilation systems that are really sophisticated to ensure that the silver and gold and a lot of other valuables can be stored for the long term. Right now we're here at the Great Dye House, which is the 大染坊. Behind me on the walls there are a lot of photos. These photos resemble the TV series 大染坊, which is really famous in China. So let's go inside and have a closer look of how this 大染坊produces its well-known fabric. Let's take a closer look of how silk is made. First, we boil the cocoons and draw well-skilled threads. Then we wind silk into reels and then twist threads so that it won't break easily for strength. After that, we straighten and tension long vertical threads, then roll them into a beam for weaving. After all of that is done, we brush rice paste on wrapped threads so they're tough and smooth. Thread them through frames and thin metal strips. After that, lift frames to make space for cross threads. So here we set the thread roll on the wooden loom, and then the shuttle moves the thread up and down, and then the petals move it back and forth, and that's how the silks are made. Right behind me you can see there's a lot of jars lined against the wall, and the words on it reads 周村大染坊. So let's go ahead and take a look at the process of making the cloth. The first step is getting rid of the paste that we apply to the cloth in the process of making it. Then we heat it with high temperature to do so. There's mainly 2 ways of dyeing the cloth. One is with hot water, the other one is with normal temperature water, which is warm water. So this process involves pouring dyeing powder and then dipping the cloth right into the sink and mixing it up. Afterwards, we pull it up and then we rinse it with cold water. And after that, we make it dry. The next step that we're about to explain, washing the cloth. So this step ensures the quality of the cloth and removes the remnant dyes on it. Moving on to our last step, which you can see there's big boulders right on top of the cloth. So These boulders function as modern irons, which you can iron the clothes to make it flat and to get rid of all the wrinkles. And that concludes the process of how 大染坊 makes the silk cloth. Let's review the business secret of success for 大染坊. It adopts a unique business model, which includes the front being the shop, the back being the workshop. So as you can see, this is where the cloth is dyed and processed by the workers. This method is especially efficient because it avoids the middleman cost and also increases the productive efficiency of delivering orders and management as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.